Thank you. As you know, up in the 1860s, there were separate sections for African Americans in public transportation, in parking, and in restaurants. They even had a separate toilet. Martin Luther King was a Baptist pastor who determined was to make sure that young Americans they had the same ring regardless of their race. He was born on 15th of January. His legal name or birth was Michael King. His father, Martin King, changed both his name to Martin Luther King. December 1895, in Rosa Park, an African-American woman was arrested after refusing to give up their seat on the bus to white men. Dr. King called on African Americans every way to protest by boycotting the buses in the city. The boycott lasted 381 days.
King's mission was to empower his people, but furthermore, he began to rethink his mission and turned his focus from racial discrimination to problem of poverty and economic injustice. He was also the oldest man to have received Nobel Peace Prize. And on the 1st February 1968, two Memphis garbage collectors were crushed to death by a malfunctioning truck. So 12 days later, frustrated by the city's response to the latest event in a long pattern of neglect and abuse of its black men, 1,300 men went on a strike, and King traveled to Memphis in support of this strike.
The 3rd of April was a long day for Dr. King. During 4 hours of speech, he was really exhausted and tired. That day, back at Lauren Motel, he was staying in his brother's room, waiting for Ralph to come and to tell him how was the course and what happening out there. They had to discuss. Then the maid was knocked and said, "Dinner is ready." It was a cold day. Ever the weather was sad that day. Dr. King and his mate was staying out on the balcony. It was freezing, so Ralph said, Ralph said, "Martin, you are not cold? Wear your neck coat, you are already sick." He said, "I will, if I remember when I..." Ralph turned and found Dr. King on the floor of the balcony. From nowhere came a bolt shooting down Dr. King. The men were soaked everywhere, thought that the king was dead, but
the shot just was 3 inches on the left of his neck. The blood was everywhere. Dr. King tried to scroll to his room. At that moment, his brother, James, a young talented surgeon, screaming, saying, someone handle me a sharp knife, a bottle of scotch, and call the emergency. It takes a lot of courage to try to take a bullet off and to stop the bleeding. James succeeded, and he went with his brother to the St. Joseph's Hospital. At the hospital, Dr. King was operating. He was safe, but he lost a lot of blood, so he went into a coma. 6 hours later, the doctor announced his death because of a heart attack. No one expected that end for a great man. But his death was and will be always a mystery. Because the Romans at the hospital said that the nurse said that someone gave an FBI agent gave to Dr. King a visit later at night while he was in a coma. Only Alicia, 20 years old nurse, said that the death was caused because of a strong dose of adrenaline. So, the truth that Dr. King did not die because of the shot, but I guess we will never know who killed him or why they killed him.
He was killed because of his beliefs and movements. rights. He wanted to integrate whites and blacks. He was a leader of civil rights and was trying to change the nation system that had been the societal norm for a long time. It scared and angered many people. He was a powerful man striving for a cause that some people disagreed with. And the best way to kill the cause is to kill the pioneer of the cause. He was a great man, made martyr. It's because of Martin Luther King and others like him that people have equal rights to life. Dr. Martin Luther King continues to make an impact in the life of today's people. History is